Or do we say that it's nullified to the ground and it's like land? You can't swear on it. Okay, take it. Yeah, I don't have an answer.
I don't get it. Why wouldn't it be considered the earth?
Well, someone could technically go and pick them out and eat them.
So when they do it, then you can consider it in your bucket. I mean, in halachas of Shabbos, you have 10 tefachim below, 10 tefachim above. It makes it earth. No problem.
For Shabbos, this is considered uprooting.
There's a complexity in Hilchos Shabbos that when you put something in the ground, it really takes 3 days to take root. The question is, if someone puts something in the ground and then takes it out, so it never took root. So
at the time he takes it out,
there's nothing wrong with it.
At the time he takes it out, it'll be metaltalin. While it's in the earth,
that's a complexity. What we're discussing is something that's planted in the ground, and it was just put in the ground. Do we consider it like it's the ground, or do we consider it like something separate from the ground until?
You even have the concept of lavud and this and that.
Yeah, but that's all spatial. Here we're not talking about spatial. Here we're talking about what is this? What did you sell? What did you?
Okay.
If there's no water, it's just all earth. I mean, you have all kinds of weeds and things that throw their seeds. It's all over the place. As long as there's no water, it's all part of the mix.
So land. You're saying it should be karka.
Yeah, it's just part of the mix. But if you have any moisture, then you have another world.
Let me see if
it's
the
changing
commentary.
the reality of that part of the earth.
I'm more and more convinced you were something in the earth as well.
So then the earth can hold it until the rainy season. And it's really just a bucket. So there is something to the argument of being just a bucket. But if it's done during the time of a rainy season, then it would be something different. Transforming the seed into a something.
I hear. The commentaries here are saying that if it would have taken root, then we would definitely consider it as part of the ground. The problem here is that it didn't take root yet, so it's separate entity. That's the way they're explaining it. Okay. Boiram Barchama. It's getting a little bit more.
Rabbi says it's like two halachas, whether it actually has the moisture to make it go or not.
So one second.
Two stages.
The two stages.
Whether it's just in the ground or it's already started to sprout, and then if it sprouts, so it's still nothing unless it flowers. So there are stages into how it's in the ground. It's just a seed in the ground. It's sprouting in the ground, and then it's going to something come out. So you're going to have the first little leaf and come pretty quick.
Right. But in this instance, the grain that's in the ground, we're discussing if it didn't take root yet. If it would take root, then we would say, oh, it's part of the ground. But if it doesn't take root yet, then you could technically go and just
takes root
and just take it out, and it's not really part of the ground. I guess it would be like, let's say someone, Reb Chaim, let's do it like this. Let's say someone has a treasure in the ground. Do we say, and someone sells it or something, you sell it, I keep it underground. Do I say that that's considered karka, and there's einay nola karkais or whatever? I keep my box of whatever it is in the ground. No, I don't say that. You happen to put it in the ground, but it's not it's not ground. It's that's where you store it because you think that's where it's going to stay. It's going to stay safe. So here,
different between grain that becomes part of the
ground. So that's the question. Here you put grain in the ground, but it didn't take root yet, and so really you could go around if you would have the patience and pull it all out. So it's not really part of the ground yet. So at this stage, do we say it's karka? Well, we say it takes 3 days. I think that's okay. Boy Rami Bar Chama. Rami Bar Chama has another question. Chitin shebegloli bakar usayrin shebegloli behema mahu. Let's say an animal ate grain. bakar, cattle would eat wheat, and barley would be eaten by other animals, donkeys and camels. They would eat the barley. And the question is, it ate the barley, and it came out from the other side, still intact. They didn't chew it. The body didn't digest it, but it came through. It went through the whole system. So mothers with young babies know about this. That the children don't always digest all the things they put in their mouth. So here's the question. Mahu, what's the din? The Gemara asks Lamai. Regarding what? So Eily malitzmui to masaychlin.
It was a slow day that day. I didn't know what to talk about.
Do you say that could this become tamei as food? Because food, if something impure touches it, becomes tamei if it's a certain size. So Tanina, that we learned in the Mishnah. Chitin shebrei bakur, sa'irin shebeglali behema. If you have wheat or barley that's in the manure, so chishav aleim la'achila. If someone thinks, oh, I'm going to eat that, ein metami to masaychlin. That's not enough to turn it into food. It's not food. He just thinks like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and eat that. But liktan la'achila. Let's say he actually gathered it to eat. The only example I can think of this is someone told me about a coffee that some monkeys digest or something. Cats digest. Is there such a thing?
Luwak, kaffee luwak or something.
So they eat the bean and then it goes through the body and then let me say a shahakal. This is not that coffee.
That's the same.
So, if a person actually goes ahead and collects them, so then that's matami to masaychlin. Then it is. So here you're talking about that it's still in the manure, or maybe you're talking about that it's not in the manure. Whichever case, we have a Mishnah already. Rami Bar Chama doesn't need to ask this question. The Mishnah tells me what it is. It's either in or out. In other words, there's a follow-up question that's required, and that we already have an answer to that. Eily Menachos. It must be that the question is, can you use this grain for a mincha? Gemara says, Pshita, that's obvious. Deloi, that you cannot use it. Why? Would you bring it to your minister, to your official? Would he be happy with you if you would bring him this grain? No. So definitely you can't bring it to God, right? So like tricha, it's necessary. This is a real question. Dinaktinu v'zarinu, that you took it and then you planted it. Now you want to bring a carbon mincha from it, and it grew. So do we say, what's the din? Mishum demiyusu, it was disgusting. And once you planted it and it grew, the disgustingness went away. Do we say that because it went through the digestion, so it weakened its
growing.
It's growing. It's the strength that it has, and it's. So do we say that now it's also weaker? The example that I can think of this is someone was asking about. He had a. It's called gray water or something. He has in a septic tank. He had it divided between the showers and the laundry to the bathroom.
Recycle.
Yeah. So it was going out in the what's it called, the system, the drain field, and it started to grow tomatoes in his from the kitchen sink. It started to grow tomatoes through the thing out in the field, out in the yard. Okay. So do we say that it's weakened? Do we say that it was disgusting, and now it's not disgusting? It grew new tomatoes. That you don't bring tomatoes, but or do we say that it actually weakens? It's like DNA. It weakens it. And okay.
But all food is grown from fertilizer.
Right.
Fertilizer is.
Yeah. So what do you think? How do we resolve that?
That's the farmer.
No. So here you add fertilizer, to the soil as nutrients in the soil, but the food itself did not go through the digestive system of the. Boy Rami Bar Chama. Rami Bar Chama has another question. Pil Shabala Kvifa Mitzvahs. There's a Gemara in Baba Basra where they wanted to know if someone was a Talmud Chacham. So they said, let's go ask him a question. It says a Talmud Chacham is supposed to be able to sell his produce first before the other people. So he said, well, ask him a question. And they asked him this question. And I think he didn't know the answer. I forget who it was. He didn't know the answer. And he ended up dying. And they had a question who to blame. If I remember correctly, it was a Gemara in Baba Basra. It's over here they're quoting Baba Basra Bais. Okay, Pil Shabala Kvifa Mitzvahs. An elephant that swallowed an Egyptian basket, like a wicker basket. Vihikia derech beisarei, and it came out from the other end. So it swallowed the basket whole, and it comes out through the digestive system. It comes out. Mahu, what's the din? When it says Lamai, what is this relevant for? Eily malemevatel tumasa. Do you want to know if the basket is now not tummy anymore? The basket was before tummy. It touched something that was tummy, and now it went through the digestive tract, and we're going to say that there's no tumah there. Tanina. This is a Mishnah. You don't have to ask. Rami Bar Chama shouldn't be asking this. Kol hakelim yardol de tumasam b'machshava vein oilan mituma ela b'shina ma'isa. It says that, let's say someone has a piece of skin, of leather, and he wants to use it to make shoes, but it's still whole. So he says, you know what? At this point, it's for shoes. He's going to use it for shoes, and something touches it. So you see, no, it's not a utensil yet, so it's not tummy. Something tummy touches it. But then in his mind, he says, I'm not going to use it for shoes. I'm going to use it as a table mat. I'm going to use it as a placemat on my table or something. So it's already ready for that because it was a flat piece of leather. So just the thought that he's going to use it makes it that, it's already a finished product. It could become tummy. So it's yord and lideitum machshava. But let's say the opposite. Let's say it's a table mat and it becomes tameh, and he says, you know what, I'm going to use it for shoes. So that doesn't make it tahar. You have to do something to make it tahar. You have to change it, a physical change. So here, it went through. It was tameh. It went through the elephant's digestive system, but it came out whole. So it's still tameh because there was no physical change to it. Gemara says, no, it's necessary. The balahutin, it actually swallowed just the reeds, right? But avdinu kvifa mitzvahs. The reeds were already digested. When it came out, someone decided to weave it. Mihavi ikol. Do we say that the weeds are digested? Vahavele kekeli kekli. Glala makli adama. We say that it's a vessel that's made out of manure or a vessel that's made out of earth, which is sort of like different types of ceramic. Ceramic it does become tamik. Ceramic becomes like a kli cheres. But kli glala makli adama, which are not fired up in a kiln, so they don't become tamik. They don't become tameh if it's made out of. It's not considered a vessel that becomes tameh. So do we say that this material is glala makli adama and the ein makablam tuma, and it doesn't become tameh? Damar mar, the master said kli avanam kli glalam kli adama ein makablam tuma. Lemi divrei Torah v'lemi divrei seifrim. They don't become tameh, not biblically and not rabbinically. Or do we say that it's not digested? Gemara says, Tifshat le'mihad amar ula mishum Reb Shimon ben Bar Yitzadek. I had difficulty just reading this Gemara, not because of the Hebrew, just because of the concept. Let's answer the question with the following. Maisa, there was a story, Ubalu shnei zevim shnei tinaikas, that two wolves swallowed two children, be'ever yardin, across the yardin. Uba Maisa lefnei chachamim, and the story came to the sages. Betira sabasa. What happened was the wolves swallowed these babies, and then it came out from the other end. So, the question is, was this Tameh? The babies that were dead, there was no Yoina miracle here. The babies died, and so the question was the meat of the flesh Tameh, as it like a dead body? It's Tameh for Kayanim, and it's Tameh for anyone that touches it. So the sages said that the flesh was tahar. So we see over here that it should be tahar. It should be. No, we're going to change it. We're going to say that if the flesh here is tahar, so we're going to say that it's digested. So we're going to say that the reeds that were swallowed by the elephant would be considered digested, and they're tahar. The Gemara says no. Shani basad derachich. The flesh is much softer, so that's considered digested. That's tahar. The reeds are not. So the Gemara says v'lifshait mi seifa. So let's bring a proof from the end of that story. It says v'timu asat samis. They said that the bones are tameh. So here, let's say here that the reeds are tameh. It says no shani atzamis dakushi tvei, but the bones are even harder. What time do they start now?
About 6:40 about.
So can I go a little further so we'll be able to drop closer to the end? But is that okay? But Reb Zeir has a question. Chitim shiyarda ba'avim. This is grain that falls down from clouds. There's two interpretations. Rashi seems to interpret it that there was some sort of
Hurricane.
What's it called? The
Tornado.
Tornadoes, this sort of thing. That he doesn't actually say tornado, but I am imagining like a tornado. Rashi just says that however the water rises, so the grain also went up. It was there was grain on a boat or something, and when it came off the sea, when the water vapor came off the sea, the grain went up, and it rained down. It rained down. Taisva says that we're talking about the miracle.
No, it happens in Sri Lanka. It happens with fish. It's very often.
Wow.
What happens?
Fish
There
come
rains
out of the
fish.
sea.
There's a picture, a shliach in Sri Lanka, on the beach. Came home and big fish in his house. It came from the
Wow.
sky. They have a little.
I have a whole new interpretation, a whole new
For
understanding of
sure, it
this.
could happen. For sure,
Manna from heaven.
in Sri Lanka, it happens often.
Wow.
And
They
now
have
you know where you're
cyclones,
vacationing.
like they have cyclones that
Pick up the fish from the
sea.
ocean, and then when it rains fish.
Wow. That's crazy.
So the Gemara asks like this: Mahu, what's the din? The Gemara says, Lamai, what is your question? Ila menachos. If it's for a mincha, amaylai, why not? It's grain. You could use it. Ela l'shtei alechem. We're talking about can you use it for the 2 loaves of bread on Shavuos? Mai, what's the din? It says you should bring it from your dwelling place, which means from the land of Israel. Lafuki de chutzaretz deloi. Moshe V'seichem tells me that you can't bring grain. For Menachos you could bring from Chutz La'aretz, but you can't bring grain from the 2 loaves of bread for the 2 of Shavuos from Chutz La'aretz. Aval de'avim, but if it comes from clouds, shaper dami, then that should be fine. It's a whole discussion here, where the clouds, where it started from, it came off the sea. Okay, or do we say Mimoshe V'seichem dafka? Or do we say Mimoshe V'seichem doesn't mean not Chutz La'aretz? It means it needs to be grown from the land, and this came from the clouds. And it didn't grow from the land, from your dwelling place. The Gemara asks, the Gemara asks, is there such a story? Is there such a thing? The Gemara says, in Kid Baradi Taya. There was a Taya is a shepherd, a merchant. Nechisale rum kiz v'chiti betlasa parsi. This fellow, he had a tefach of grain that rained down from the sky over 3 parsois. That's how much grain he had that came from. Okay, Boy Reb Shimon ben Pazi. I'll stop over here.
We didn't answer the question.
We didn't answer the question. No. Okay.
The next time it rains